Hi everybody, welcome back. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how sound travels through matter. So in order for us to best understand how sound travels through matter, we need to review our basic knowledge about the three states of matter. So with solids, we know that the molecules are tightly packed together. In liquids, we know that the molecules are a little farther apart. There's a little more space in between the molecules. And then with gases, they're the farthest apart. The molecules are farther apart. And so those molecules are in constant motion. So with solids, the motion of the molecules is not as great because they're tightly packed. Liquids, it's a little bit more motion, and gases, they're going everywhere. So we need to remember that basic information in order to best understand about how sound travels through matter. Now the information that we're going to be working on today, you need to be writing this in your graphic organizer. Now I want you to notice that the graphic organizer starts with solids, liquids, and gases. On my paper, I started with gases over here. So you've got to make sure that you put the information in the right place. All right, so let's go ahead and start going over this information. So gases, most of the sound that we hear travels through gases. And we're talking about gases like the air, like the oxygen that we breathe, and that those sounds travel through and then we hear it. So sound waves travel very slow through gases or through the air. Now, why do they travel so slow? So let's go back to our basic information that we know. We know that molecules are far apart in gases. So it takes longer for those molecules to for that sound to travel through those molecules because those molecules are so far apart. And so it travels slower and it takes longer for it to get to our ear. Okay, so for example, like if somebody blows a horn or their alarm clock goes off, it takes longer for those sound waves to move through the air or the gases in the air to get to our ear. All right, so the next one is liquid. Now, some sounds we hear do travel through water. And I know if you've ever been in a swimming pool and there have been noises outside the swimming pool, you hear them, but they're kind of muffled. So sound waves travel faster through water than air. Those muffled sounds that you hear them faster in the water than you would if you were standing up on shore. Interesting, huh? So sonar is a type of wave that people use through the water in order to locate things. And those sonar waves then travel through and help people to find certain things. Like, I guess I've heard this when they've been talking about things like treasure hunters, and they're trying to find like a sunken ship, and they're trying to find things in the water, and they might send out sonar waves through the water in order to find certain items that are underneath the water. All right, next we have solids. Now, we know that gases, the sound waves move slow. Liquids, they move a little faster. So the molecules are closer together in liquids. Well, solids, the molecules are really close together. So some sounds we hear do travel through solids. Sound waves travel very fast through solids. It doesn't take long for those sound waves to get the molecules moving because the molecules are so close together. So for example, when you hit a drum, it vibrates. Then the sound travels through the air and into your ear. So an interesting thing when they're talking about instruments here, it reminds me of the part of my ear that allows me to hear is called an eardrum. And that eardrum vibrates also to, when those sound waves come in, to help me to comprehend the sound that I'm hearing. So kind of interesting. All right, so this information is what I want you to be writing down on your graphic organizer. And if you're not finished writing that down, you can go ahead and pause the video so that you have this information to continue writing. And I want you to make sure that you upload the graphic organizer. I want you to keep watching, keep learning, and remember, always stay curious. See you tomorrow.